Hello bachcho, let's read this question. Question says the reversible expansion of an ideal gas under adiabatic and isothermal conditions is shown in the figure. Which of the following statement is or are correct? So here this PV curve is given and this is adiabatic and this is isothermal. So here the pressure is P1, volume is V1 and temperature is T1, and in this P2 V2 T2, and for adiabatic that is equals to P3 V2 T3. Now we can write that firstly here we can use the ideal gas equation, that is PV is equals to nRT. So and we can write key concept, that is work done is equals to area under PV curve, area under PV curve. So here we can see that here this is area under PV curve. So here the relations of temperature T1 and T2 are given. T1 is equals to T2, T3 is greater than T1, W isothermal is greater than W adiabatic, and del U isothermal is greater than del U adiabatic. These we have to calculate. So firstly we can see that firstly we can check the relationship between this temperature T1, T2 and T3. So our first is relationship relationship between T1, T2 and T3. This is our relationship here. Relationship. Okay. Now since temperature is constant in any isothermal process, so from here we can write T1 is equals to T2, because for isothermal process here we can see this temperature T1 should be equals to T2 because temperature is constant in this process. Now from ideal gas equation, that is PV is equals to nRT. So here we can write this T2 is equals to P2 V2 divided by nR, and T3 is equals to P3 V3 divided by nR. तो हम क्या लिख सकते हैं कि इस ग्राफ को यूज करके हम देख सकते हैं कि द वैल्यू ऑफ प्रेशर दैट इज P2 is greater than P3. So T2 must be greater than T3. Here T2 must be greater than T3. So we can write the relationship because pressure and temperature are directly proportional. So from here we can write if pressure P2 is greater than P3, then also here T2 must be greater than T3. So the relationship is equals to, here we can write the relationship, that is T1 is equals to T2, it is greater than T3. Now we can see that here T1 is equals to T2 is given, that is this is correct. Now T3 is greater than T1, so this is incorrect. Now we can check the work done. Here we can check C for work done. Work done. So what is work done? Work done is equals to area under PV curve, and we know that according to first law of thermodynamics, du is equals to q plus w. Now for isothermal process we can write here for isothermal we can write du is equals to ncv dt. So here we can write that dt is T2 minus T1. In isothermal temperature is constant, so that the value of du is equals to 0. So for adiabatic process, now we can write for adiabatic, in adiabatic that is q is equals to constant, so du is equals to w. So that we can write del u adiabatic, it is equals to ncv T2 minus T1, sorry, here ncv, temperature is T3 here, so T3 minus T1, T3 minus T1, here it must be less than 0 because T1 is greater than T3. So from here we can write that del U isothermal, it must be greater than del U adiabatic. That means here this D is also correct. Now we can check about work done. So in this we can say that the work done of isothermal work done, so it is isothermal, that is W isothermal, it must be greater than W adiabatic, because 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 in because in adiabatic we can write du is equals to W, and for isothermal dq is equals to minus of, it is equals to minus of W. Now we can see that in this W isothermal is greater than W adiabatic is given, so hence option C is correct. So the correct options are in this question, that are option A, option C, and option D. Hope you understood it well. All the best and thank you.